Hi everyone, this is Joydeep from EEL. I've had a great opportunity today to speak to Amrita from Voice It Out podcast, and I look forward to the edits and the final presentation of this. Do follow Voice It Out because I think they are creating a very great channel for people to come and talk, and I've been very fortunate today to be here. So stay tuned and see this presentation on Voice It Out podcast on Instagram and all other various feeds, and look forward to see you one day on it. So thank you again for listening to me.
Hi, this is Amrita and I'm back with yet another episode of the Voice It Out podcast, and we are of course in season 3. We've had some amazing guests on, very interesting conversations, and I hope you have been enjoying them so far. Today's guest is no less than that, in fact probably a little bit more because he's not seen very often. He actually is one of those people who doesn't like to be seen because he wants his work to be seen, I guess. It's Joydeep thus. Hello.
Hello Amrita, thank you so much, and what a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
As you said, yeah, it is a bit of a rare appearance, but I'm so glad to be here. And namaste to everybody. Assalamu alaikum to all my listeners and for all the followers of Voice It Out podcast.
Thank you.
Great opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I feel so privileged because we were talking just before we started recording about how much you are not seen. So I just wanted to ask you actually, so Joydeep is the founder of EEL Association. You might have seen reference to them in quite a lot of events or on social media. I think it's an organisation when I've seen posters or people kind of talking about it, it comes across as a very, as you say in your mission statement, diverse and inclusive kind of environment that you want to create, right?
Very vibrant.
Yeah, of course.
Very vibrant.
And it's obviously not, it's not kind of limited by religion or anything like that.
100%.
I wanted to ask you, the first question I've got to ask you, what made you start this? What was the passion behind it?
It is the favourite question a lot of people ask me. And I think the whole idea of starting with EEL was being a people's person and a people's organisation. I saw that as a vacuum in the society during not just pandemic but before the pandemic. So we've got a sister company which does a lot of events in the Bollywood market. So we do a lot of live events in the parties and the Bollywood side of things, and I love Bollywood nights. I like to celebrate.
Actually, I agree with you there.
And what I saw there was the essence where it was only being done for very certain sect and communities out there, but not a very inclusive night for people to come and celebrate from different spheres. So we started with that as a beginning. And then EEL started because obviously during pandemic, everybody was doing networking because all we were doing at home was chatting to people around. And then me to grow my business and to grow my presence as a business community or as a business service, I wanted to create a community of entrepreneurs and businesses like myself. And we initially started from East London and Essex. So that was, once upon a time, was the name of EEL, East London and Essex Association.
Okay.
But then obviously it grew, it expanded, people from all spheres of life, all different areas joined. So it didn't make sense to call it as East London and Essex Association. And then I looked at it from a 360-degree point of view. So we came up with entrepreneurship, which is for all the businesses to join, SMBs, SMEs, corporates are joining these days for their business interests, which is where entrepreneurship is a very key element. Me also being an entrepreneur have to attest to that. Entertainment, we are all entertainers here. I'm a showman as well. I love entertaining people. Love to hold big events. We do Holi, Diwali, New Year's Eve, Bollywood nights. We did a ladies' night recently, high heels we call it. And entertainment is a key essence. And even at our exhibitions also, we do add that. And then lifestyle, a very, very important part of our business where we focus a lot on different topics. We focus on a lot of community issues. We don't do charity events per se, but we do non-for-profit events for a cause. So we do health and well-being events. We do Women's Day events. We do International Men's Day events, where we don't have to think about always from a business returns or values point of view, but also more from the impact that we are creating in the society. And that's where the L of EEL is equally very important.
So this sounds so exciting, but I'm just wondering, when you first started,
Sure.
Did it start with a small network of people who kind of had the same passion as you, or did it start with you kind of having to bring people in, or was the team already there, I guess?
No, I'm a one-man band. Okay. I still am. I'm lucky to have good partners along with me who support me in the journey. We've got a full end-to-end team of production, of design, of social media experts who come and do a lot of back-end marketing on the day. We've got a decor company in place. We've got website management, and everything is as a team in place. But the face of it is as a single person owned organization. And when I started, I really didn't know what to expect. There was no expectation of how will this journey end up. All I knew was I wanted to be different. I wanted to be diverse, as I said. I wanted to be inclusive. I wanted it to be helpful. Even now, I'm very keen on doing this as a business service.
Yeah.
For me, if I don't serve my audience, I'm not doing my work, just like anybody else who works with any other corporates. So we are a corporate organization. It's a full-time business, full-time commercial entity. And everything I do with regards to branding, with regards to messaging is very corporate savvy. So now it has formed up over the last few years from one-man band, and we are touching almost anything around 30 to 50,000 people annually.
Yeah.
Different events, different occasions, and that's something to be very proud of.
It absolutely is. I absolutely think it's fantastic that you started as a one person and now you're in the tens of thousands.
Sure.
It's such a fantastic thing. And congratulations, I guess I should say.
Good teamwork. It's a great teamwork.
It's just a few years in, I guess, such a big impact.
This is our 5th year.
Yeah.
We formed ourselves as an organization in April 2020. So now we are end of 2024. So this is our 5th year.
That's fantastic. I have to ask you, actually, when you are doing community events like that, what do you think are the biggest challenges? Because I know that the rewards are massive, as you've just spoken about. But what are the challenges that come along with that?
Every business has challenges. There is no other business in the market which can say they don't have a challenge, especially in last few years where, the spend has reduced a lot. Net market spend of consumers is quite tight, as you can see, with cost of living and everything. That's probably a big challenge. When I do a SWOT analysis, I think that's a weakness, something which is very difficult in the market to now capitalize. But also there are threats, there is competition. With every business, there's always competition. And I think that's a challenge where you have to, mark yourself distinct with what your service are compared to your peers. And I think to be innovative and creative is something that I have to be. Otherwise, there are so many other organizations like us who do, if not similar, but there are distinct peers who are doing similar events like ourselves. What is different between what EEL does versus somebody else does? So that creativity has to be regular, that innovation has to be regular. Otherwise, people's attention span is quite less.
Do you think you need to be quite fluid in terms of what you need, what is needed at the time, or what you see is needed at the time? For example, you've said that you've started a Men's Day event. And I think that's fantastic because especially in the Asian community, it might be a little bit wider in the wider community. But in the Asian community, I don't think we have a Men's Day event. We have multiple Women's Day events in March. But obviously Men's Day, and a lot of men, I think I've always heard them say, oh, you have a Women's Day. What about a Men's Day? I was like, you do realise the 19th of November is Men's Day, but nobody really knows.
Exactly.
So what was your purpose of starting a Men's Day event? Because in a way it's obvious, but also I feel like women engage differently to men. So what was your purpose in doing that?
Yeah, I think your question about the fluidity is even more relevant because even with the Women's Day, before I come to the Men's Day topic, our Women's Day event are very different than the standard Women's Day because we stick to the theme. So this year's theme was about, having that same, again, the diversity. This year's theme was about giving the equality. We want to have topics from speakers and, mentors or professionals to stick to the theme. Rather than just coming and talking about women's rights and, other causes and other issues that women face in the society. There are tons and dozens of events for that. What we do is we always like to stick to the theme. This year's, I think the main topic from what I remember was embrace equity.
Yes.
And that was the theme of International Women's Day 2024. Our whole event was based around that. We had a panel discussion of speakers, we had individual speakers, and that's what the fluidity and that's what the creativity element of EEL is all about. Because I want every person who walks through that door to come into our event to feel this was good. This was worth the time. This was something that, they probably didn't expect, but they went out of the door feeling great. And the men's day actually started just last year. So this is our second year. And me being a man, being a father, being a dad, being a businessman, I felt the necessity of creating a new niche space as an event because nobody else was doing it. Not just in the Asian market, you look at the wider market as well. There are very, very few international men's day events. And if we could add a little bit of a difference out there by raising few awareness, I mean, last year, quite a few of us were speaking for the first time. We all got a bit teary-eyed when we were talking about our journey. And that's what opened us up. We don't have to publicize, men crying on the camera or anything like that. But it was more about an outlet that, hey, we have a safe and secure space where we can talk about our journey. Just like today.
Yeah.
I'm here today with you. I am happy to open myself up and talk about, who I am and what I am doing. Because like you said, I don't do that enough.
Yeah, I don't think you do. Especially when I'm looking at your social media. Even though your social media is obviously your personal life, which is great because we get a snapshot of that. I don't think a lot of the time we see the man behind EEL. Yeah. So thank you so much. I just wanted to ask you, with your niche events, do you have advisors or do you literally plan yourself still? Are you still that one-man band, or do you have people telling you, oh, maybe we should do it this way, or maybe we should think about doing something different?
100%. No business can run alone. Even though there might be a CEO in a bank or CEO in an organization, there are advisors always. There are well-wishers always. Same with me, as I said. Because for me, if I have to run a concept, I always like to seek trusted advice and trusted experts to give their opinions. Otherwise, it never works. There's not in the world, nothing can be successful if you only want to do it solo. And that's the nature's call, that you can't just do anything by yourself. So you have to have a team of people who you can work along. And for this men's day, equally, to back to the point, we have got few people who actually also initiated this idea along with me. Because they saw that Joydeep is one person who can actually do it in the right cause, for the right purpose. And they were the ones who also actually came to me as well. That, Joydeep, there's nothing happening for Men's Day. Why don't you think about it? And I gave it a thought, couple of days, couple of weeks. And I'm one person who goes by instincts. I'm like, yeah, let's give this a try. Let's see what happens. Unless you try something in life, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what we did last year. It was very well received. The men who came, there were some clubs, there were some cancer survivors, there were some victims of abuse, men who have been divorced in their lives in a very bitter manner. They wanted to come and talk about their journey, and everyone felt very, very empowered. And that's, for me, was my success criteria. Whether I earned anything out of that or no has never been the issue or the concern. It's more about what difference you're making in the society. And one of the things which we actually started when EEL started all these years ago, the tagline was "Make a Difference."
Okay.
Although I don't have that right now openly written anywhere, but in my head that always is EEL, make a difference. And that's what we've been doing.
That's fantastic.
And most of our events have been doing that.
That's fantastic. Just going back to the Men's Day event, or the thought of it.
Yeah.
I think I've had multiple guests on the podcast who have said that Asian men do find it difficult, if we just say Asian men for now, do find it difficult.
Yeah.
And often we've spoken about the conditioning that Asian men have, that they have to be the breadwinner, they have to be strong.
Yeah.
If you show emotion, it's weakness, and all the rest that goes with it. But I think it does kind of blanket. I think there is a notion that it's not just Asian men that goes for, but I think the conditioning part maybe. But the thing is, I just wanted to ask you on a personal level, do you feel like, obviously you've created this event, but do you personally feel like you have a safe space?
Yes and no. I mean, it depends. I feel very safe during my event because I have that as a comfort zone, that, hey, it is something that we have sort of created as a event, created as a zone for people to come and enjoy and celebrate. And that's where I can talk openly to people. Outside the event, yes, you do feel, especially in today's world where there is a huge exposure of social media, that words do get defined in a very different way, and hence I do try to avoid talking openly in these kind of forums. So you just don't know, whoever is listening tomorrow takes your interpretation in a different level.
Absolutely.
But that is where, channels like yourself are a big help, are big assets. And I'm pleased that you're not just offering the space to women speakers, but also male speakers as well, who can come and talk about it and give us an opportunity to also speak up. But there are very few of these. So yes, there is a lack of such channels and such exposures for men who have businesses, who are not very comfortable coming on camera to talk about it. But channels like yourself are giving us that kind of an opportunity. And something like that on a smaller scale is something that we are doing at a Men's Day level as well. Not a very big event or very thing to masses. We're looking around 30-40 people who come in on an evening. They come and talk, they come and network, they come and bond. And those who want to come on the mic, come and talk about their journey. We have a theme this year as well, especially around men's health. That's been the main theme that we are focusing on this year. And tomorrow, whether be it an EEL channel or whether be it any other channel or any other platform, people should be comfortable to go out, because a lot of time I've seen even many new businesses, they have got that confidence from us where they can now go out and probably showcase their brand or talk about their brand or exhibit their brand at different platforms, bigger platforms, because they've got that push and that jump from EEL. And that's what has been my also big success story. And as a service, I feel proud when tomorrow somebody succeeds and has been a startup just like us, and now have gone and achieved bigger things and better things.
Of course, and that goes back to make a difference,
100%.
right? Because you're personally making a difference
100%.
to people's lives. I wanted to ask you actually, in terms of your mental health, or maybe male mental health, Men's Day is just a day, right? It gives you an annual opportunity, if you like, to release some emotions or talk
100%.
about whatever might make you feel a bit lighter. What do you personally think is lacking? Is it that there aren't that many platforms that you would feel comfortable on, or is it something else? I don't know.
No, I think it's just us as men who are A, lazy sometimes, and B, we do feel probably a bit zoned out also to go out and talk about it. And also it's probably in the genes of it, whether the way it is. Women like to talk about their problems or their issues or their concerns, whether be it against their husband or whether be it about their kids, openly out there to go and talk to other women. Whereas as a man or as a father or as a dad, we may talk about our family, but in a very neutral or in a very positive light against other dads or against other men. But we're not going to go and talk about, oh, my wife is like this, my kids are like this, because we feel that maybe that's undermining our own purpose as a husband or as a man. And I think that's where the X chromosome always is overpowered by the Y chromosome. So it's in the DNA, it's in the genes. But again, there are platforms which are coming up, and yours is one of the channels which is giving this kind of an opportunity to. So credit to you.
Thank you.
And we want those men who has that inhibition or that restriction to come out and speak about. And hopefully tomorrow many more such channels come. We are just a very small, tiny platform for Men's Day. Hopefully there are bigger and bigger Men's Day events which keeps coming, and I would love to be part of it. I would love to endorse them. If anybody has any such interest and opportunities, please come and let me know.
That's nice. I think it's, again, coming back to the cause, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Everything, in any business or in any sphere of life, I think every action has a reaction. Every business must have a cause attached to it. And that's what I truly believe in, because you can make money, you can earn as much revenue, but if there is no cause attached to it. And there's actually somebody who I want to credit this to. There's a very nice author. Her name is Sangeeta, and she has a book around corporate social responsibility. And that book is Business with the CSR Mindset. That book has been with me for last all these years. When I started, that anything and everything which EEL does it with a CSR cause to it, or does it with a community vibe, like you said, to it. Because that's what makes us distinct, that's what makes us different. And with us, we've done so many events over the last few years. We are getting new brands, new corporate, new entities to come and join us because of that same reason. So just the other day, we had a big bank in the market who came and sponsored us. And they see, because EEL is attracting that kind of clientele. We had a very big popular Pakistani channel who came and joined us as media partners recently, because they also want that new and niche audience to come and watch their programs online, and that is what makes EEL very distinct.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, because I think it is definitely, like you say, diverse, and I think there is a certain attraction that comes with it, definitely. So what do you feel like in terms of representation, if we look at the way that Asians or even men are represented in, I don't know, TV programs or stuff like that, I can only think of certain Asian characters that you think, oh, this is really positive, this person is actually talking about mental health. I think there's an actual lack of that. Even if you look at mainstream programs like EastEnders, let's just pick EastEnders, I don't know whether you watch it. There's a Banesar family in there at the moment, and there's so much violence related to them, and I feel like previous Asian families in EastEnders specifically, there's always been violence. And then I was speaking to one of the previous guests, and I was like, I think I would be really attracted to if a man in that Asian family had a mental health, some sort of storyline like that, because I think that would be really big for the Asian community. But do you think there is enough representation just generally that Asians get? Because I certainly don't.
I think that was part of your previous question as well, about my own personal sort of state of play. I am very positive in my mindset, where I do take every situation as a lesson learned and as an experience. I do have times and days where you're stressed, you're under a lot of pressure, you do feel that the pressure cooker situation, because you have to sell, you have to get the numbers in, you have to make that P&L work for you as a business, and during those days and nights, you don't have anyone to talk to, because being a man, that is the biggest issue that you face, that you don't want to talk your hassles and your issues and your stress to other people, because, as I said, back to the X and Y chromosome conversation. So a lot of men end up taking ways to tackle that. Some go into alcohol, some goes into drug abuse, some take it out violently or physically onto the others, whereas someone like me have never been violent, but yes, I have had bouts of days where you end up having quite a few glasses just to take that stress out, de-stress. So I wouldn't say that I've been an alcoholic, but I've had days where you need some sort of a divert attention to calm yourself down. But on the flip side, I think if any people are watching, or if any men are watching, we should also share those best practices with each other. That rather than becoming somebody doing alcohol per se, why don't we pass meditation tips to each other? Why don't we pass the power of prayer to each other, like how probably the women do? If you look at a lot of females, whether be it business owner or non-business owners, they do pass that information, they do pass the rituals to other women. Hey, come and pray this, come and do this, let's do this puja, let's do that together. Whereas men don't do any of that. So that has probably been the sort of the society taboo that hasn't been broken yet. But Rome wasn't built in a day. If few of us can come together and do these men's day events regularly, hopefully next few years to come, we can make a difference. And that's all I'm trying as well. My journey was shared last year. One of the things I did speak about was the fact that I do feel these glasses hide my under eyes. And that's one of the reasons why I like to wear them. Because like women, we don't wear makeup and all of that to, create that look. So we end up picking up accessories like glasses. And that's exactly the reason why I have been wearing them regularly. So a lot of people say, Joydeep, why do you wear them? I said, because I feel a bit shy when I look at my own physical appearance. And you can see, the eyes are sometimes saggy, so they look tired because we are working so hard.
Of course,
And maybe to add a layer in front is giving that sort of, the look. And that I said this very openly in the last International Men's Day. That the pressure of being a dad, pressure of being a business owner, pressure of also working and getting that money into the family to pay for your expenses does take a toll.
Of course.
And some people take it, some people don't take it well. Yeah, it's an ever growing topic, and I'm glad again, back to credit to you, Amrita, that you're giving us these channels to talk about it.
Oh, thank you so much. I think it's really important. I think that was the most important conversations we want to keep going
100%.
on Voice It Out podcast, because I don't think in our community we talk about mental health enough,
100%.
and there's a lot of stigma still attached to all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And I think that is really important to me, to keep that conversation going, or even just starting the conversation, I guess.
You can have a full panel of people if you want to talk about it one day. There are so many people who are speaking up a lot of late.
Absolutely. And I think it's credit to organisations like yours that give that voice to people.
Sure.
Because I think sometimes you can have a voice, but you don't have an audience. And I think you bring both along, right?
Yep, we're trying.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. I was going to actually ask you, you just said that you've got a lot of pressures in the different roles that you have in your life. And you said that some days you like having maybe a couple of drinks to wind down.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there. Definitely.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, is there anything else you do to prioritise your mental health?
Good question. Actually, the answer probably is no, because I'll be honest that I've got so much in my plate. Over the next few months itself, before the year closes, I've got multiple things which are happening. So I keep reading about a lot of people talking about taking time off, taking days off, taking holidays, taking all that. But I was like, when? Where? But what I do, and what I normally love to do, is zone out sometimes.
Okay.
Let's say even if you're having a shower.
Right.
You don't think about anything else, just enjoy the shower. Or you pray. Once you need that, just like us for example, in our Hindu tradition, we like to light an agarbatti and pray in front of your god or goddesses, and those 5 minutes is your Zen mode, that you don't think about anything, but you just think about peace. And I like to switch off during sleep. That's something I've been trying very hard to answer you, that I like to switch off sometimes during my sleep mode, and that's probably my recharge mode, that I sleep with no thought process or no thinking of what's going to happen, but just switch off and then wake up, and then automatically it starts. So that probably gives you that recharge, and I should probably do more. I definitely think my wife also says the same. Should go for a walk, should go out and absorb the nature. Nature is always a great heal for anyone who needs it. So I think it's a great reminder for a lot of people to do that if you're not doing it, just like me. So totally guilty. On camera I can say that. But yes, it's a learning curve.
Absolutely. I think we all have to find time for stuff like that. And it is actually, like you said, when is it going to happen? I think you have to find time.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If only we had more hours in a day.
Yeah, even if you're having food, I think we are all guilty of digital overload. Even when you're having your food or your dinner or your meal, probably keep that digital device away, or switch off the TV and just focus on the food and enjoy the taste and the flavor of it.
Exactly.
Sometimes I do it, sometimes I fail to do it, but I can only do better. And I think find those joys in the small things in life to find that peace.
Absolutely.
And hopefully over the next few years, when we meet next time, I'll have a better answer.
Oh, let's hope so. I think it does take a lot of effort though. So I do understand
100%.
that if you've got a lot on your plate,
100%.
it's difficult. It is difficult. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation. At the end of episodes, we usually do a this or that section, because if it gets intense, we want to get lighthearted. So is it okay with you that I start the this or that section? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, there's 6 questions. You don't have to explain if you don't want to, but you can also if you want to. Okay, ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Time travel or space travel?
Ooh. I would love a space travel.
Really?
I think I don't want to go back whatever has happened in the past. I'm a person who always looks to the future. So for me, past is past. You learn from the past and you focus on the future. But space is something which is unexplored. So I would like to explore that. So 100% space travel.
That's interesting. Risk-taking or risk-averse?
200% risk taking.
I think I could have answered this for you.
I can easily say, if you don't take a risk, you will never grow in life.
Yeah.
But obviously don't be a fool in that. But sometimes I do think that I'm probably taking a bit too much. It's like, investments, right? In banking or in financial services. If you're investing in stocks or if you're investing in the market, you only take that much appetite of risk. Let's say a 70% or 30% or whatever it is. Same like in business, you have to take the risk. I keep saying this to a lot of new businesses. Yes, we are charging you for taking a space for pop-ups or for exhibitions. And that's the risk you have to take. Otherwise, you'll not be known.
Yeah, that's true.
So, 100% risk taking.
I agree with that. Sweet or savoury?
The toughest question. I'm a Bengali, by the way.
Okay.
So I love my mithai.
Oh.
I love my, as you said, the jalebis and all the sweets. But also, I have a very Punjabi palate.
Okay.
So I've grown up in Punjab, north part of India, during my childhood. So I love the spices. I love my, butter chicken. Just last night I had something locally as well. So I'm a bit inclined more towards savory, but I can't let go of sweets.
I love that.
So savory is the right answer.
Oh, I thought you wasn't going to choose then.
It was a difficult one, very difficult one.
Lake or ocean?
Ooh, again a tough one. If I may say this from a business point of view first,
yeah.
I love to be a small fish in a lake rather than a small fish in an ocean.
Okay.
Because in an ocean you might get eaten up by sharks. Whereas in a lake you still have your own identity. And I love that because I love to swim in a lake and have my own identity. Whereas if you swim in the ocean, no one can see you.
Who knows? Yeah.
So lake will be the answer.
I love that answer. I love it. Thank you for explaining that one. Me time or family time?
Don't ask my wife. That's again a very tough question, Amrita. Me time is always valuable. I love my me time, especially when the kid and wife are away. I love it. Wow. all mine, all my space. But also, I think I have started valuing family time a bit more this year because I think I have a young son. He's 5-year-old.
Oh, that's
and
nice age.
He is, wanting to spend time with his father. And this is a golden time for us as a family to spend time with him. So I think family time is superseding a little bit of me time of late. But whenever there is me time, you just make the most of it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that. Okay, last one. Long-term strategy or small wins?
Always long-term. Rome wasn't built in a day. EEL wasn't built in a day. If you keep a short-term game, you will evaporate very soon. And also, I think you will chase, short-term success, and people will gauge that. And he's only there for the taking, or he's only there for the short term. But if you build a brand, there are banks out there, there are institutions out there that are 100 years old, and they've got the trust of the consumer. And that 100 years old trust is only gained over 100 years. Whereas new institutions do take time, but if you are following the right path, the right mission, the right vision, always believe in the long term. And I'm a pivotal example of that because I always do everything for the long term. Fine, you may have hurdles, you may lose revenue, you may have losses, you may not make as much profits, but today or tomorrow it will come. And that's been my story.
I've got another question just because of this answer that you gave. And this is my last question. Actually, it's not. But how do you personally measure success?
Fantastic, because if I can say this in Hindi, and I was saying this to you, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And for me, my success is not what Joydeep and what EEL has achieved. My success is what people around me are achieving with me. Because if I make it just about me, then everyone will say, yeah, this guy's just doing it for himself, or this company, all they care is about themselves. But if I can touch those individuals and touch those organizations or touch those people who are working with us, make them also successful. I've seen people growing rapidly over the last few years because they have probably got that initial platform with us, and now they are going and doing bigger and different things. And for me, that is what value success is. Just like any other corporation. You go to a bank, the bank does say that, yes, we've got a lot of success this year with our returns. But they will always be happy if a customer has made that, bigger savings or has invested their money in bigger causes. That's what the bank is going to be always more proud of. So similarly for me, I would always take that pride if my success is when others with me have taken that success, which also organically gives me the success. So if I can make my end user successful, they will give me the success as well. And that's probably been my mantra. And I always follow this statement by one of our leaders in India, is the Prime Minister, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
That's such a nice note to end on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed talking to you and finding out so much about you personally.
I can go on.
You can go on. Maybe we need to do a part 2.
I'm notorious for talking a lot. So that's why at my events I find that safety zone.
That's what podcasts are for as well. Thank you very much. Can we just ask you, obviously you might not want to say your personal, but where do we find you on socials?
Yeah, sure. No. I don't hide myself on social. It's just that I stay balanced. So EEL Association is always obviously our main business profile. You can find everything that we do around what our events are, what are various opportunities that you can gain. We have a big networking element of ours. We do a lot of networking throughout the year. So EEL Association on Instagram, on our website, on Facebook, everywhere. We've got a few new ventures also coming up. Stay tuned for that next year. Also for me on my personal bit, it's Joydeep Das. I've got my own small little Instagram profile. And I love to share daily anecdotes sometimes or whatever I'm doing on a daily basis. So yeah, I think EEL is a great place to be because I think it's a very diverse, it's a very safe zone, it's a very open zone, and we invite everybody to come and just celebrate. We do these ladies' nights also, as I was telling you, and it's a riot. It's a good fun that they all come and have because we give them that zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is what is very important as a business, to be very professional, be smart about your business, have a long-term strategy. So all the questions you asked, most of them is something that I've got that imbibed. So thank you again for letting me.
No, thank you for creating such a space for everyone, because you have created a space for various different kind of people. Like I said, not limited to religion, not limited to anything really. 100%. All walks of life can get involved.
100%.
So check them out, EEL Association, wherever you want. Like you said, EEL is everywhere.
Is everywhere
on socials.
Everywhere. I might have to change the name. Everywhere, everything, something.
Oh God, what's the L going to stand for?
One day. We'll see.
Who knows? Who knows? Thank you so much. Are there any final thoughts you want to share? Anything that...
No, just stay connected. As I said, we have lots of things for people to come and be part of. We've got a massive Christmas market.
Oh, wow.
And that's a very unique opportunity for EEL this year. We are doing a mini winter wonderland. 2 days of Christmas. Targeting not just the Asian communities but also the non-Asian community. And that's what I want your listeners and people to recognize EEL as, that although being a brown skin, although coming from an Indian community background, from a diaspora, I don't want to talk to my audience of the same nature. I want anyone and everyone to come and look at me, that hey, their events, their service is for everyone. And we've got a New Year's Eve campaign. We do the biggest Holi in England. And that's
I've heard about this.
We call it the London Ki Holi.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
This year we had 5,000 people.
Wow.
Next year we're going to have 7,000 people.
Wow.
So that's my pride. If there's one event a year, I love it. I love to play Holi. And that is where I go all out. And we've also been featured on ITV, on BBC, and quite a few mainstream media because of that. We also do a food festival called the Burp.
Oh, I've heard of this as well, yes.
That was the first year we did this year, and I've also actually trademarked it now.
Okay.
And a lot of people were very interested to see, why have you chosen burp? I said, what do you do after having food? You have a burp.
Satisfaction, isn't it?
And that's why we named the event as Burp.
Wow.
So yes, there's lots to engage, there's lots to participate, there's lots to connect. We are a social connector, we are also a professional connector. So both from a social and professional cause, if you want to be part of, be it anything, even, we recommend people if there is somebody in need, somebody wants any service, somebody wants any expert advice, anything and everything you can think of in the society. And we are a society channel at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We want you to come and participate and come and ask if there is anything as a hobby, We have an arts and crafts community too. So if you're a painter, if you want to do something creative, we try to do a lot of creative events as well. Hopefully one day we are planning into art exhibitions and things like that.
Okay.
So let's see. It's just our 5th year.
I was going to say the world is your oyster.
It's the 5th year of our journey. Who knows in the next 5 years where we will be.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't time travel, I space travel.
We wish you all the best for the next 5 years and beyond. Thank you so much. I'm signing out. I think this has been such a bumper episode, but I'm signing out. You can find us on Voice It Out Podcast on Instagram. You can email us voiceitoutpodcast@gmail.com. And we're active on our socials. So just get in touch. If you've got anyone that you want us to get on, please send us recommendations. We'll try our best. And we also don't want to keep it in. We want to voice it out. Bye.
Thank you.